Hi, everyone. Welcome to the October 28th social hour for the first year experience. This is going to be a great event because we are here to talk about spring registration, which is right around the corner. So today, our goal is to really give you some helpful tips and tricks as we have Val from the Student Solutions Center, who is going to talk us through the registration process, when you register, how to search for courses, and really anything else that you may have questions on. That's why we're here today. So please write your questions down, throw them in the chat, raise your hand, unmute yourselves. Any questions at any time. We want to make sure that you are confident going into the registration process and you have everything that you need on hand. So Val, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Cutter. Thank you for all the students who are here joining us live and for anyone who will be watching on their own time. My name is Val, and I am the Assistant Director of the Student Solutions Center. The Student Solutions Center really serves as a resource hub for all student questions, financial aid, billing, registration. We always tell students, if we don't have the answer to your question, we will connect you with the appropriate resource on campus to make sure your questions are answered. I had the opportunity to meet with many of you over the summer when we registered you for your first semester of classes here at Molloy. It is very hard to believe that we're almost in November already and just about ready to register for the next semester. So my role here today is really going to be to teach you how to register yourselves for the upcoming semester. So we did register you, as you know, for your first semester, but going forward, we are passing the torch over to you and you will be registering yourself. Okay, so as Dr. Cutter mentioned, any questions, anything, put them in the chat, raise your hand, shout them out. I'm really here to help all of you. So I want to be sure to answer any questions you have. So that way, when your registration date comes, you are ready to kind of hit the ground running. So I'm going to just share my screen. Let's see where my PowerPoint go. There we go. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so the first thing that I want to touch upon is that all of your dates for registration have been assigned to you now. If you don't know when you're going to register, you're going to log into Lions Den, click on My Academics, and then the link that says, when can I register? Now, you may have already done this once. If you, I'm sure you saw the emails, registration dates were pushed back 1 week to allow for a Lions Den update. So now that that has been done, dates have been adjusted by 1 week. So even if you checked your date once, I do recommend that you just check it again to make sure that you have the right date and time listed. The When Can I Register report will generate. Now, your registration date is determined by the number of credits that you have in progress and the number of credits that you've earned previously. Now, as a first year student, previously earned credits would consist of any AP credits or transfer credits from other institutions that you may have already earned. Okay, if we have any student athletes here, athletes do register a little bit earlier. They register on November 4th, which is next Monday, 1 week from today. Everyone else will register more towards the middle of November. Now, as you'll notice, it says registration time, 6:15 in the morning. I know that's early, but we really mean 6:15 in the morning. You want to make sure you are ready to go, ready to log into Lions Den at exactly 6:15 to make sure that you get the classes that you would like. Registration can get pretty competitive here. With that said, I can assure you, no matter when you register, you are going to get a comprehensive schedule with everything that you need for your second semester. But I will say registration, does get a little competitive. So when we say 6:15, we mean 6:15. You definitely want to, set that alarm clock. I know it's early, have that cup of coffee and get your classes selected for the spring semester. Okay, the other thing to point out, winter intersession registration is the same day as your spring semester. Winter courses are not required to take, but if it is something that you've already spoken to your advisor about, you will be able to register for your winter courses at that time as well. You can actually do it at 6 o'clock. So you register for intersession courses at 6, log out and log back in for 6:15. Okay, again, not required, but some students do, choose to take an intersession course.
And if students don't know who their advisor is, oh, am I
There we
jumping ahead?
go.
Okay, sorry.
So
Thank
if you don't know who your advisor is at this point, that's okay. We still have some time. Located right in the My Academics tab of Lion's Den on the right side of the screen, you will see your advisors listed. You may have more than one advisor. If you're in the honors program, if you're in STAP, if you're in TRIO, if you're in C-STEP, it is possible that you may see one or more advisors listed there. But you would want to reach out to your major advisor to schedule an appointment for advisement if you have not already done so. I'm sure most of you do have appointments on the calendar over the next couple of weeks, but you do want to have that appointment with your advisor because they are the ones that are going to let you know which classes are most appropriate for you to take for your next semester. Now, if you don't have access to their email, you should be able to access it in the directory, but if you cannot, just email us in the Student Solution Center and we're happy to provide you with your advisor's contact information. Okay. So let's go through a couple of tools that are available to you as a student prior to meeting with your advisor that you'll be able to use, throughout your time here at Molloy. The first tool that I want to point out to you is going to be called your course needs report. Now, this, in my opinion, is probably the most important tool that we have to use to determine what courses we need to take. So if you're logged into Lion's Den and you click on My Academics, it is a little bit hidden, so I'll go through this, kind of slowly. Lion's Den, My Academics, Degree Audit / Advisement on the left side of the screen. Now we're going to scroll all the way down to where you see Course Needs Report. Okay, then you'll click View All Details, and then the link for the PDF for the Custom Course Needs Report. Now, as I'm sure you've all kind of experienced, sometimes Lion's Den can go a little bit slow. This is one of those instances where, sometimes it does take an extra second to load because it does generate something that's custom for you. So no need to click it multiple times, just click it once and give it a second to load. Now, once it loads, you're going to see this screen come up. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons. If we look at the top, your advisor's information is going to be listed there once again, so you'll be able to see it there. You'll be able to see the number of credits that you've earned, your GPA, and your academic standing. So this is all right at the top. You'll also be able to see your major information there. This is an interdisciplinary studies student, so there are 2 concentrations listed as well. If you're a student that has a minor, the minor would be listed there as well. As your major. Now, this is important because this document takes all of the requirements for the degree, and really in a pretty simple system, green check marks means you've taken the class already. A red X means it's still a class that you need to take. Anything, as you can see, the math class on top, that's in that kind of mustard brown color with the circle, that means that it's a course in progress. Now, if there was something in blue, that would be a transfer credit course. So anything that was an AP, a college course, something that was taken at another institution, that would show up as blue. So this is really a live document. This is updated every semester. So it's really a way for you to kind of stay on track. Now, if you're looking at this, you might say, oh, I know I still need philosophy. I know I still need ethics. I still need a phys ed class. But your arts and fine arts requirement is already met just by looking at this. Now, we always tell students, all of the advisors here at Molloy are wonderful. But we want you to take charge of your own education here. We want you to go into that advisement meeting and say, like, I know that this is something that I still need to take. We want no surprises. We want everybody, you're the advisor, the student, for this partnership, everyone to be on the same page, everyone kind of have an idea of what courses that you should take. Now, for your first semester, first go around doing this, if you're not prepared, if you don't really know what to take, please don't worry. That's why advisors are here to help guide you. But it is important to know that these resources are available to you, at your disposal right on Lion's Den. Okay, we have a couple of more tools that you can use. The 8-semester plan and the status sheet. Now, if we look at the status sheet first, you want to make sure you always click the most up-to-date catalog. Okay, so when you're logged into Lions Den in My Academics, in the left side of the screen, you want to select the status sheet from the most current year that's available. Okay, so I think we have some from 2024 up, but for planning purposes, you can use the 2023 catalog until all of the updated status sheets are available, because these are, planning tools. But when you click on the status sheet, now all status sheets look pretty much the same. You're going to have all of your gen ed requirements on one side, then your major requirements, related requirements, and then any room for electives that you may have. Now, gen eds are courses that everybody needs to take. These are courses that they're not tied to your major, they're not tied to related requirements, but they do make you a more well-rounded student. They're very important to take, and everybody will take them in some capacity. Some students like to actually print their status sheet and use it to manually, handwriting, checking off each requirement as you go. Essentially, that's what the course needs report does, but some students do prefer to have the hard copy so they can actually check courses off as they progress through the major. Then you'll have your major requirements, related requirements, and then again, the electives. Now, not all majors have a lot of room for electives. Nursing, for example, does not have a lot of room. Business, education, not a ton of room for electives, but many majors, especially those in the liberal arts and sciences, will have more room for elective space. This could be a time when you do have a lot of electives that if you'd like to consider a minor, this would be a conversation that you would have with your advisor to see if it would be a good fit for your degree based on the number of electives that you have available. Okay, so let's move on. We can talk a little bit more about gen eds here. I probably should have switched the slide sooner. The QR code on the bottom links directly to the most current academic catalog that we have available to us for the 24-25 year. You do want to make sure that every course you take does satisfy a gen ed requirement. For example, if you're looking at the status sheet, I know it says arts and fine arts, but kind of in the fine print, you see any art history course. So when you're searching for art classes, and we're going to talk about how to search for courses in just one second, but any art history course, it needs to be an art history. It can't be a ceramics, it can't be a painting, it can't be a drawing, it can't be a photography. It needs to be an art history. So if you are looking at a course on Lions Den and you want to verify that it is a gen ed, you would just check the academic catalog and confirm that the course fulfills the gen ed requirement. In addition to scanning the QR code and checking the course catalog, you can always contact us in the Student Solution Center as well, and we'll be able to confirm if a course does fulfill the gen ed requirement, or reach out to your advisor as well. So lots of checks and balances here. We all want to make sure that nobody's taking a course that they don't need. So lots going on here, lots of ways to prevent that, but just be mindful that not every course in that subject is going to fulfill the gen ed requirement. Okay. Next, the 8 semester plans, also available Lions Den, My Academics, the 8 semester plans link in the gray box on the left side of the screen. Now, the 8 semester plans look pretty similar as well. And I know it might be small depending on, if you're on your phone right now or how you're looking, but the 8 semester plan is an excellent guide that will show you what courses to take in what order for your major. Of course, this is not a substitution for meeting with your advisor. I can't stress enough how important it is to have that relationship with your advisor. But this kind of gives you an idea, kind of a look ahead as to what you'll take in each order. Now, what I will say, when you're looking at the 8 semester plans, your major requirements, very often related requirements, these courses have really a pretty strict progression. So the way you see them listed in each semester, from your first year all the way through senior year, that's the order that you can expect to take these courses in. Now, anywhere where you see a gen ed listed, for example, if we're looking at spring semester for this marketing student, we see history, political science, psychology, or sociology. If these courses are not available to you, they don't fit in your schedule, there's conflicts, no problem. This is where you can take philosophy, you could take theology, you could take an art history, a music history. You definitely have a little bit more flexibility with your gen ed courses when you're looking at the 8 semester plan than your major requirements or related requirements. Okay? Okay. So, don't see any questions, so I'm going to keep going, but if any questions come up, don't hesitate to stop me. Okay, so now it's time to search for classes. The first thing that needs to be done is the registration agreement form. So before you can even search for courses, you're going to have to complete the registration agreement. So you need to be logged into Lions Den, click on course search, and then click the link that says complete registration agreement form. You'll want to read through the agreement, check the box, and click submit before you can begin your course search. Okay, so now we've done that. Now it's time to see if you have a hold. If you have a hold, you have likely been notified by now. You would have been notified now. And holds will prevent you from registering on your assigned date and time. So if there is nothing listed, that means you don't have a hold and you're good to go. If you see a hold listed, this is something that you'd want to explore further over the next 2 weeks before you're going to be registering for the classes. So the most common hold that we'll see this time of year is a bursar office hold. This means that your account isn't in good financial standing, so you would want to reach out to the bursar's office to get that bill paid off in time. Sometimes you'll see a hold that will say a personal information hold. That means the registrar's office is missing information such as an emergency contact. That is a quick and easy fix right in Lions Den in the personal information tab. You can update your information there and get that hold squared away. Another common hold that we see for first year students is an admissions hold. And this basically means that they don't have your final high school transcript. So you'd want to reach out to your guidance counselor in your high school and have that official transcript sent over to Molloy's admissions team so that they have that on file. Any other holds, any other questions, reach out to us in the Student Solution Center and we can kind of help you navigate what that might mean and how you can go about getting that hold lifted in time for your registration date. Okay, so we've done the agreement, we've checked for a hold, now it's time to search. Okay, you're going to click course search with the magnifying glass as step 1. You're going to make sure the course search defaults to the current semester. So you're actually going to look for spring 25 because we're looking for next year already. And then you're going to put in the subject that you're looking for, whether it's biology, whether it's communications, art, English, whatever the subject is. Now you're not going to fill out anything else. Don't put the title, don't put begins with, don't put course code, dates, faculty, campus. Leave everything blank, scroll down to the bottom and click search. Okay. Why do we do this? Sometimes if you use these filters, Lions Den will limit the number of courses that you can see, and you might miss out on something that you are actually eligible to take. So, we just recommend don't use the filters, just the semester, the subject, then search. So if we use communications as an example, this is what comes up once you begin your search. Now, this looks familiar. At this point, you've all seen your schedules on Lions Den, so you kind of know a little bit about what you're looking at here. But just to point out a couple of important components of the course search page. So the course code. So if we look at the top one, for example, COM 1100-02. Now, the section number is very important because if we look right underneath it, we see the same course, but it's section 04. Now, the big difference here, if we look at 04, this is an online asynchronous course. So this course doesn't meet face-to-face. Some students really like online courses. Some students, it's really not a great fit for them. As a second semester student, you can speak with your advisor to see if an online course, may be a good fit for you. But you know, it's really a personal preference here, but you do want to note the type of courses. Now, even if the second course, like let's say, for example, section 04 was another in-person section, it's going to be offered at another date and time. So the section is really important because that determines the date and the time and or the modality of the course, whether it's online, asynchronous, synchronous, hybrid, face-to-face. That's where the course code comes in. You'll see the faculty member there, and you're also going to see the number of open seats. So if we look at section 02, we see there's only one seat left, but the section is open. Now, if we look at 04, we'll see that that class, the status says full. This means that the course is full. No one else can register for this course. So as you're building your schedules, if it says full, it's not going to be a good fit for you because it's just not available. Now, let's scroll down. Well, let's look at the next line where it says COM 1150. Now we can see in that course, I know it's a different course from 1100, but if we just look at the open seats column as an example, we can see that that course has 10 out of 15 seats open. So there's a really good chance when it's your turn to register at 6:15 in the morning on your date, 10 seats open, that you're going to get a seat in that course. If the course said only one seat was available, you know, you're going to want to have a backup because there is a possibility that when your turn comes to register, it is going to be full. The schedule column will show you the days and the times. Again, MW, Monday, Wednesday, TR, Tuesday, Thursday. If there was just an R, it would only be Thursday, just T, only Tuesday. You'll see the times, 12:15 to 1:40, 9:05 to 10:30. Everything you need is going to be listed right here in order to build the schedule. So when your day comes to register, 6:15 in the morning, you're ready to go. You log in exactly at 6:15. How do you actually do it? There's two ways to do it. Now, you will want to plan a few schedules out prior to your registration date. You want to have your A schedule, your B schedule, your C schedule, just in case the courses are full. So, you know, you'll have this all planned out prior to going to register. 6:15 in the morning, check boxes are going to appear in the add column of the course search. So just exactly how you did it, you put it in spring 25, you put it in communications, there will be checkboxes open, available for the courses that are open for you to select. You check off the checkbox, scroll to the bottom, and click the Add Courses button. Okay, so this is one way to do it. You'd have to go subject by subject and add each course individually. Now, the more efficient way to do it would be to add everything all at once. So you'll be in course search, then you click Add Drop Courses, and the next page that loads, you'll want to click the tab that says Add by Course Code. You can then put all of your courses in at one time. This is definitely the efficient way to do it. However, you do need to know those section numbers because you want to know COM 1100, did you want 02 or did you want 04? So as you're planning, you definitely need to write down those section numbers because here is where it becomes very important. If you don't have the section numbers, you could put yourself in the wrong class, and we really, you know, would like to, you know, do our best to avoid that. From there, you'll click Add Courses. You will be notified if a course that you tried to put in for is full. It will bounce back with a red X. You will be placed in all of the other classes that have availability, but if the say 3 of the courses go through no problem, the other 2 courses are full. You will be notified, and then you'll be able to select 2 additional courses to be placed in. You won't automatically be placed in another section of a course. It will only put you in the courses that have openings, okay? You click Add Courses. What happens next? These courses are actually in what we call reserved status. What will then happen is your advisor will log into Lion's Den, on their end, and they will be able to check the courses that you've selected. They will take a look through, they'll say, okay, this is what we spoke about during advisement. This is, what really makes the most sense. And if they have any questions, if something doesn't look exactly right, the advisor will reach out to the student and say, hey, I don't know if that course is really the best fit for you. Excuse me. Oh, I don't think that course is not a gen ed. So it is possible that you will hear from your advisor after you reserve your courses. So you do want to be on the lookout for any email from your advisor after this registration process, because, it could be an important email, from the advisor. If everything looks okay, your advisor will approve the courses and you will be officially registered.
And I just
What
want
I
to
do want to
add,
point out,
sorry, as an advisor, our kind of standing rule is if I haven't met face to face or on Zoom, however you meet with your students, I don't approve courses until I sit down and have a meeting with my students. So it's really important that you schedule that one-on-one time, whether it's over Zoom or face to face in their office, just to go through that schedule. So I always tell my students, I won't approve your schedule. You can reserve the courses and we can meet after, absolutely. But I won't actually hit the approval on them until we've met for that reason, just to really make sure that you've signed up and registered for the correct courses in the correct sequence that you need them.
absolutely. And as an advisor too, I have the exact same rule with my advisees too. So I can't stress enough how important it is to reach out to your advisor. So that way you can have that conversation. But with that said, don't panic. If your advisor does not approve your courses right away and you've already met, you're not going to lose your seat. Just, it's perfectly fine if it takes your advisor a couple days, to check through. I know, this is a busy time for advisors, especially our faculty advisors. They're still teaching, they're still, all their other responsibilities, and meeting with students. So if your advisor doesn't approve your courses instantly, don't panic. You're not going to lose your seat. That it's totally okay. So what's different this semester for you as a second semester student is that you're going to be able to make changes to your schedule yourself. Let's say you really wanted to take a philosophy course on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:05, but when it was time for you to register, it was full. So you picked your plan B, which was theology at 10:40 to 12:05. And I was like, okay, this worked, but I really wanted that philosophy class. I really wanted that professor. I really wanted, to be with my friends. You can keep checking Lions Den. And if a seat becomes available, you can make a change to your schedule yourself. You don't have to speak to the advisor. You don't have to do your advisor. You can just make that change. What I will say is if you do make a change to your schedule and it's outside of the typical advisement period, so let's say it's January, you make a change, let's say it's December, send your advisor a quick email. Just wanted to let you know, I made a quick change to my schedule. Can you please take a look and approve the course if everything looks okay? You will not be advising you will not be bothering your advisor at all. Advisors are not notified when students make changes to their schedules, so it's very, very helpful for students to send the advisor just a friendly reminder, just a little note. I did make a change to my schedule. Can you please make sure this is correct and approve the course if it is? And advisors will be perfectly happy, to do so, and will definitely kind of appreciate that heads up that a change has been made. You can make changes to your schedule all the way through the add drop period, which is the first week of classes for each semester. So I know we start January 13th. So for the full 7 days after the first day of classes, you can make changes to your schedule right on Lions Den, and then just let your professor, your advisor know that the change has been made so that your advisor can approve the classes. Okay, just a couple of tips. The biggest tip I can give you is don't panic. I know this sounds like so much information that we just crammed into a half hour, but this is going to be easy. The actual act of registration is going to be easy. I can promise you that. You're all going to be fine. You're all going to survive to tell the tale of your first semester of registration. Plan ahead, make a couple of different schedules. I said an A, B, C version, it may not be the perfect schedule every single semester, but we all know now firsthand how quickly semesters actually go. So you do want to have, just a couple of different choices, a couple of different backups. Check Lions Den the night before to make sure the classes that you're looking for still have some openings. You don't want to waste your time trying to register for a class that's full. So definitely helpful, or even, I know 6:15 is early enough, but if you even want to wake up a little bit earlier, check Lions Den first thing in the morning and then log out and log back in exactly at 6:15 so that, you can register, but just be very mindful of the open seats. And I can't stress enough, just ask us for help, if you need it. We do have a couple of in-person sessions coming up. November 5th and November 7th in Wilbur 127 at 3:30. You can come in anytime between 3:30 and 4:30. We can sit down with you and help you search for courses on Lions Den. November 18th, I know that's the morning that first year students who aren't bringing in many transfer credits will be registering. We won't be here quite at 6:15 in the morning, but come see us in Wilbur 104 between 9:30 and 10:30. We are going to have, and we'll get the information out to everyone, just some walk-in hours. We're going to be set up in Public Square in a couple, it's going to be November 13th, but we'll get this out. We'll have open hours here in the Student Solution Center. Come see us, spin our wheel, try to win a prize, and ask a question about registration. We're going to be having some open hours on Zoom where you can just pop in, nothing formal planned, but I'll just be here. So if you want to ask a quick question, and I'll get that out to Dr. Cutter to distribute to your faculty to post as well. Everything that we have, we always post on our Instagram at Molloy SSC. So definitely, follow us on Instagram because we're going to have a lot of even little videos, just to kind of really help you get acquainted to the process. Our YouTube page has step-by-step videos on how to do almost anything on Lions Den, including finding your course needs report, searching for courses, registering for courses. Everything is there on these videos. So you can always scan that link to get to the videos, but we're here to help you. We, had the opportunity to get to know so many of you over the summer, and it was so great. This was our first real go round where we worked with students, in small groups or one-on-one to make their schedules. And we really loved getting to know all of you before you came here as students. It was so nice this summer. Don't forget about us. We are absolutely here to help you with this process as well. Come see us. Look, we're located right in the lobby of Wilbur. Pop in, say hello. We have some candy. We're gonna have lots of candy on Thursday for Halloween, so definitely come trick or treat by us. Call us, email us. Whatever we can do to help support you. I can assure you, you're gonna get through this process. We're gonna blink. It's gonna be Thanksgiving, and then we're gonna be on the winter break. So it just really flies by. But I am more than happy to answer any questions that you all might have.
Yeah, so feel free to unmute. If you're shy and you want to put it in the chat, absolutely. One thing I will recommend is any students who are taking like a part 1, part 2 course, like if you're, I'm going to be in my biology department, if you're taking anatomy and physiology part 1 and you have to take anatomy and physiology part 2 in the spring, just check the program requirements for the needed grade to go in. You could still register for the course, but let's say you don't make that C+ grade, they will bop you out of that class. So just again, be aware of your program requirements for progression towards the degree. And that would be something, if you're concerned about that, another important thing to bring to your advisor meeting so that they are aware. Any questions from our students? If you haven't heard from your advisor yet, absolutely reach out to them. You can reach out to them. If they haven't reached out to you, we're happy to receive emails from students. Oh, I do see one in the chat.
Okay, so there are a handful of first year students who may not have course needs reports yet. This happens sometimes. The registrar's office will be able to fix that for you. You can either contact them directly or email us at the Student Solution Center at molloy.edu. And I can pass it along to the registrar team and we can get that squared away.
What's the student solution email again? I can put that in the chat.
Student Solution Center at molloy.edu.
I spelled it correctly. There we go. And also anyone coming in with transfer credits, AP credits, college credits, make sure this is a good semester to check in to see if they've actually transferred in, or if you're still missing transcripts from any of the AP courses or the high school courses. This is a good time, nice and early in your career here, to make sure that everything that you need has transferred in correctly.
Yes, that's an excellent point. We don't want to be scrambling when you're so close to graduation and you're like, no, I know I took this in high school, and then you're trying to track it down, from 4 or 5 years earlier. When you're looking at the course needs report, anything that was transferred in is going to be in blue. So if it's not listed on the course needs report, we don't have it. So it's really a good time for you to check to see what was received. I know, we spoke about this quite a bit over the summer when we were meeting with you, but just because you took the course in high school doesn't mean we have the official credit. Anything that was an AP needs to come from collegeboard.org, and anything that was a transfer credit from another institution would need to come from the institution that awarded the credit that your high school partnered with. Okay, I see another question. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have, a draft of the courses that you're intending to take to talk about with your advisor. It's always nice to have something to talk about, when you sit down for that meeting. I know advisors really appreciate that when the student comes in and says, I know what classes I need to take or I want to take. This is going to be easier for some students than others. Don't be afraid if you don't know what you want to take, if you don't have an ideal schedule, especially when you go meet with your advisor for the first time. Your advisor is going to work with you on that. That's why we're here. We're here to support you. But if you do have, the ability to kind of poke around and think about, what you may want to take, I would definitely, recommend to have that available to you when you go to the meeting.
Val, if they have technical issues the day of registration, who should they contact?
That would be our IT team. So the phone number's, it's 516-323-4800.
And also just looping back to transfer credits, both Val and I being advisor, we can only advise you on what we see on your degree audit reports. So if we don't know that you took an AP biology and you're showing that you need to take a science course, we may put you in a science course because we do not know. So that's why it's really important to have that as up to date as possible and not have those courses be applied as non-applied. So that's the part of advisement where you need to take, as a student, you need to take kind of ownership of your academic progression. So just kind of check in on that as you have a couple weeks before registration, see what's transferred in, see if you think anything is missing, and definitely reach out to Student Solution or registrar to kind of get any issues resolved ahead of time. That's very helpful.
We can see sometimes scores come in, but they're, it's a manual process when the scores come in to put them on the course needs report. But if you just want to make sure we receive the transcript even before it goes to the course needs, we do have access to that in the Student Solution Center. So we can take a look and check to make sure that, the transcript was received from whatever school it was, or if AP scores tend to take a little bit longer to come in. Transcripts are a little bit quicker usually, depending, if they're sent in the mail or electronically. But we can definitely, take a look. We especially don't want you to take anything that you are already bringing in credit for, like Dr. Cutter said. And sometimes it's a little bit more cut and dry. Sometimes you're bringing in AP credit, and the way it translates to credits here, we want to see it, because we don't want you to take a literature class, for example, if you're getting credit for it, or a literature class if you're bringing credit for 2 Spanish classes, for example. So it's very case by case. So just get everything in so that the advisor can make the best recommendations possible for you.
That's very important.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where will you be able to find the course needs search? the course. Wait, no, the thing that you guys were just talking about. I'm sorry.
To see if the transfer credits came in.
Yes, that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
sure. I'm just gonna
Yeah, I think,
pull up the PowerPoint again real quick.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. So if you go to degree, oops. Sorry, okay, we're on the right slide now. Lion's Den, if you log in, click on My Academics. In the gray box on the left side, it says Degree Audit / Advisement. So you'll want to click on that. Then you're going to scroll down. You're going to scroll past the section that says Degree Requirements. Scroll to the bottom of the page where it says Course Needs. And then you'll click the link that says View All Details. Then the link again for the Custom Course Needs Report. And then the PDF will generate. That's
And remember, I have this recorded, so if you still missed it or you need to go back, you know, maybe you're thinking about it on Wednesday, the link to this video will be shared with your FSC instructors and is always available on our YouTube FYE channel. So if you need to kind of go through those step by step again while you have your laptop up, it'll be there for you. And Student Solution is like that one-stop shop to help answer those questions. They can also help you generate that PDF.
absolutely, yeah. If you can't find it, bring your laptop into us, or even if you don't have a laptop, we have a couple of computers in the front of the Student Solution Center. Come in and we'll walk you through it to make sure you know where to find everything.
Do we have any other questions? Feel free to pop it in the chat or unmute, whatever you are comfortable doing. Otherwise, I will have Val pick a number between 1 and 7 for our weekly Starbucks gift card giveaway, which I just learned you cannot use the Starbucks gift card at our Starbucks on campus, but at any of the other Starbucks will hopefully, or apply it to, if you have the app on your phone, you can just add it to your Starbucks account, which my daughter likes to take all my money from. But Val, between 1 and 7.
And number 4.
4. All right, let me check. That is Karina Calderon. Yay, Karina. So Karina, if you want to come, the gift card is in the office of the first year, which is Sienna 106. I think Deb will pop it in the chat. You'll see me, you'll see Deb, or one of the other wonderful people who work in our office, and we can get you that Starbucks gift card. Good at any participating Starbucks, which is not our Starbucks, but many others will be applicable for. So thank you. All right, great. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Val. That was very informative. I hope the rerun on demand will be very helpful for students as well. But for those of you who joined us live, we appreciate the feedback and the comments and the questions. That's why we're here. We're here to help. And tune in next week for our next installment of the social hour, which is held every Monday from about 4 to 5 p.m. Have a great week. Good luck with registration. And again, any questions or concerns, your FST instructors, Student Solution, always happy to help you.
Have a great day.